Salams and welcome, and thank you for joining me in the English reading of the Holy Quran, the translation and commentary by Abdullah Yusuf Ali, and we are published by the IPCI, the Islamic Propagation Center International from Durban, South Africa. And today we are busy with part 1 of chapter 26, which is known as chapter Shu'a'raa, which is known as the poets. Right, let's start with that. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Okay, in total there are 227 verses. There was just a small typo, just a typing error. Instead of 227 is written as 277, right? It's supposed to be 227, right? Small typo, right? A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. The surah begins a new series of 4 surahs from 26 to 29, which illustrate the contrast between the spirit of prophecy and spiritual light and the reactions to it in the communities among whom it has appeared, by going back to the old prophets and the stories of the past as explained in the introduction. In this particular chapter, in this particular surah, we have the story of Moses, Musa alayhi salam, in his fight with Fir'aun, and of Pharaoh's discomfiture. Other prophets mentioned are Ibrahim, Noah, Hud, Salih, Lut, and Shu'aib alayhi salam, and all of them. The lesson is drawn that the Quran is a continuation and fulfillment of previous revelations and is absolute pure truth, haqq, unlike the poetry of vain poets. And poetry was in vogue. It was very, very fashionable in pre-Islamic Arabia. Chronologically, the surah belongs to the Middle Meccan period, when the contact of the light of prophecy with the milieu of pagan Mecca was testing the Meccans in the most arrogant mood. The summary, verses 1 to 69. The conflict of unbelief with truth is vain. So was the conflict of Pharaoh with Moses. Pharaoh's magicians bowed to the truth, and Pharaoh and his hosts were drowned. Then in verses 70 to 122, nor did Abraham's people gain anything by their resisting the truth he preached, and Noah's people perished by their unbelief. Then in verses 123 to 159, Hud warned his people against reliance on their material strength, and Salih against sacrilege. But in both cases, the evil ones were brought low. Then in verses 160 to 191, Lut alayhi salam, Lot had to deal with unspeakable crimes, the crimes of Sodom and Gomorrah, and Shu'aib against dishonest dealings and mischief, dishonest business dealings and so on, changes in weights and measures, and their teaching was rejected, but the rejectors were wiped out. Then in the final section of the surah, 192 to 227, so when the spirit of prophecy came to Mecca, it was resisted by the votaries of evil. But truth is not like vain poetry, and must triumph at the end, because truth prevails over falsehood, and good prevails over evil, right, without a shadow of a doubt. Right, let's start now with the rhythmic prose, verses 1 to 69. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. God's plan works unceasingly. His light, the Noor, shines nonetheless brightly, because some reject it or mock at it. Moses was freed from all fear when God gave him his signs and sent him to Pharaoh. He boldly proclaimed the message and warned the wise ones of Egypt. The rejectors with Pharaoh perished, and the heritage passed to worthier hands. Right, so let's start with that. Bismillah. This is chapter number 26. Surah 26, that's Surah 26, known as Shu'a'raa, or the poets. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. In the name of Allah, Ar-Rahman, most gracious, most merciful. These are the mystical letters which no explanation can be given. This is a secret code between Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and his beloved Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Ta, Sin, Mim. Tilka ayatul kitabil mubin. Very clear, lucid, very, very clear, conspicuous, perspicuous, very clear like glass, right? Ta, in the name of God, most gracious, most merciful. Ta, Sin, Mim. These are the verses of the book that makes things clear, the Quran al-Mubin. It may be that thou frettest thy soul with grief that they do not become believers. If such were our will, we could send down to them from the sky a sign to which they would bend their necks in humility. But there comes not to them a newly revealed message from God most gracious, but they turn away therefrom. They have indeed rejected the message, so they will know soon enough the truth of what they mocked at. Do they not look at the earth? How many kinds, how many noble kinds? Let me start again. Do they not look at the earth? How many noble things of all kinds we have produced therein? Verily, in this is a sign, but most of them do not believe. And verily, thy Lord is He, the exalted in might, most merciful. Lahuwal Azizur Rahim. Aziz, exalted in might, Rahim, most merciful. Right? So join me in the next episode, which is part number 2, and we're busy with Surah 26, which is known as Shu'a'raa, the poet. Stay well, look after yourself. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.